Hello, Madison Elementary. It's Mrs. Shear, your school counselor. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about anxiety. And we've talked about this a lot in school, but just a reminder, anxiety is something that we get really nervous about and really worried about. Our body clues could be that our stomach feels like we have butterflies in them and they're swirling around. It could feel like our face is really hot, or our arms, legs, fingers start to get hot and tingly. So we're going to be talking about some of the things that cause us anxiety. And with the coronavirus going around, we definitely have a lot more things to worry about, and some things are in our control and some things are not in our control. So I want you to start by going and getting a piece of paper and a pencil, and we're going to journal. When we're journaling, remember, we're not worried about spelling, we're not worried about full sentences, we're just writing down whatever comes to our mind, okay? So if you're worried about one particular thing and you just want to write some words down, that's fine. If you want to write down full sentences or paragraphs, that's fine too, whatever works for you. No one else will see this besides you. So I've got my piece of paper and I've got my pencil, and I'm going to do this with you. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to write some things down that have been bothering you, and then we will come back together. All right, I'm going to give you a few more seconds to finish up your final thought. Okay, so what I want you to do now is think about, is this something that is in your control? So, for example, things with the coronavirus are not necessarily in our control. It's not in our control if people around us get sick. It's not in our control what the government does about it or what the school does about it. It's just something that is a thing right now. Okay, so I want you to write underneath your paragraph if you think it's something that you can control or not. And once you've written down if you can control it or not, if you said that you could control it, I want you to brainstorm some ideas on things that you could do to kind of help the problem. So if you're worried about, let's say, you're not doing as much for school as you would like to, you're not getting into your Google Classroom and working for your teacher, if that's something that's giving you anxiety, is there anything that you can do to control it? So for example, you could write down, I could set aside an hour a day to get into my Google Classroom. So go ahead and write those things down. All right, and then the last thing that I want you to do is think about how you can handle this situation in a positive way. So if your thing was you were upset that you're not doing as much schoolwork, how can you use this in a positive way? Are you using your time in a way that is beneficial, like spending more time with your families? Or are you, organizing and cleaning your room? What are the things that are also positive about what is going on? Okay, so let's go ahead and write those down. So another way to handle situations in a positive way are to make changes within ourselves. So if you are not getting into those Google Classrooms like you want to, and one of the things that you want to do is to do that more, that's how we make a positive change, okay? So a negative response to being upset about not getting into your Google Classrooms would be, well, I'm already this behind, I'm just not going to do it. That's a negative response. Saying to yourself, I'll put aside some extra time to do it, that's a positive response. So let's work a little bit more on how we can handle what we're worried about in a positive way. Okay, so for those of you who are feeling like you have a lot of worries about a lot of different things, this is a really good exercise that can help you get your thoughts out a little bit more clearly. So take some time to yourself in a quiet room, in a quiet place that you can work, and just write down those things that are bothering you. And when you do, remember to answer the question, is this something I can control? Because if it's not something you can control, then you probably need to do some exercises to calm down and let it go and try not to think about it as much. And we've talked a lot about this in the mindfulness, breathing in and out, and doing things that we know calm us down. So for some people, things that calm them down are to do some physical activity. Sometimes other people like to lay down and close their eyes and try to clear their head. So it just depends on you. And then the last thing that you need to think of is, how can I handle this in a positive way and make a positive change to where I can be handling this better? Okay, guys, that's all I have for you today. I want you to take these pieces of paper and rip them up and go throw away, because they are just for you. They're for no one else's eyes. It's just an exercise so that you can get through this and help yourself through this, okay? And if you need me, feel free to contact me. Bye, guys.